I asked you guys on Twitter, who's going to have a breakout season this year? I've got a load of replies and we're already a little bit through the season, so let's see if any of them have started to break out. First up, with BTC and me, with Jeremy Doku. I'm just going to say, he does not count as a breakout, as you can see in my reply. Like, yeah, if you've just been bought by City, you're definitely not breaking out. Next up, we have Fab Miz with Nicolo Trasoldi. And yes, I am going to butcher the pronunciation of almost every player in this list. I made this post on the 31st of July, and it looks like he had a price spike right around then. So he must have been coming off a good game in pre-season. So he rose from about £6 to up to a max of £18 in the matter of days. And at the time of the post, he was probably settling about £14 for a player. He's currently £16, so he's made a little bit of an improvement, and the new season supplies come out. Looking to start, he could be on for a breakout season with a last 5 of 56 compared to a last 40 of 36. Last average game played last season was 43%. He's on 80% this year. A second Bundesliga player for Hannover 96. Not someone I've heard of, but yeah, this guy started as a sub, did a fantastic first performance, then moved into a starting role, played 58 minutes, won a penalty with a decisive. He looks to have got that first team spot. Whether he's nailed it down or not, I don't think he has, because, honestly, it's only been 4 games, and in the 2 games he's actually started, he hasn't put up a decisive action. Doesn't look like he's had a great game, but yeah, this is a good start, I think. Nice one. We're just going to go through these players. I don't know if they're going to be hits, don't know if they're going to be misses. It's more for you at home, so you can put some people on your watch list. Nicola can go on there now, and then you can watch him for the rest of the year, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, and then you think, yeah, do you know what? It's time to go and pick him up. Right then, the next one I do know, Chris Quirk, coming in with Elliot Anderson of Newcastle. Obviously, he had a fantastic pre-season, so let's see how he started the Premier League. On the 31st of July, he was trending about £10. Currently, before new season supply, he's already down to £7. Now, I think you can see here he spiked from £2 all the way up to £12. The reason for this is obviously that pre-season, he was doing so well. I think a lot of people got caught up in the fact that, yes, this kid is going to start in the Premier League. Realistically, he's only 20 years old. He's got plenty of years to develop. Newcastle's midfield is very strong at the minute. Bringing in Tonali, he's really not going to have a chance to nail down a spot. And I think that's what we're seeing pretty much initially from the graph. If you're looking at this season, 1 minute, 23 minutes, 8 minutes, 32 minutes. And although he hasn't made an impact, he's not really had a chance to make an impact at the same time. So I think he's definitely one to watch. At 20 years old, getting minutes in the Premier League, he's going to be a player. Whether I'd buy him now, looking like he's going to have 6 months almost guaranteed to come off the bench, I'm not so sure. But of course, they have got European football. They will need to rotate a little bit more. Whether they rotate in the Premier League or the Champions League, who knows? Either way, it doesn't get very easy for him. So yeah, not someone I'll be buying, but someone I'll definitely be watching. Evade has come in and broken the rules, and he's gone for 2 names in Enzo Milo and Luca Netz. So I know Luca Netz, I've won him as a reward previously, and he says, at the risk of pumping my own bags. On Sorare, you have to pump your own bags, because if you're not backing your own players, you really don't believe in them. So yeah, it's something I deal with as a content creator, but let's see what they're up to. So Enzo Millet then, I have not heard of him, but he's playing in the Bundesliga at 21 years old. On the day I put the post, about £4.63. He went on a massive price rise up to £13. This was probably after the first game of the season, where I think Stuttgart won 4 or 5-0. Then he's come back down to reality about £4.96. And if you've seen today, they've had another good game. So he's up at £7 again. So yeah, this is someone I really like the look of, especially someone that's going to play Champion Europe. What I'm not liking now I flip to his scores is that last season he was getting some minutes. Now he's back as a sub, then he's playing again, then he's sub, then he's playing again. So yeah, I mean, all over the place in terms of minutes. Not someone you want to pick up in terms of if you need someone to slot into your team. But if you're looking for someone that might break out and might nail down a spot, yeah, this is exactly the sort of person you're looking for, because, you start off as someone that's just having, no utility, price is low, there's no reason to hold this card. Then all of a sudden you become a really usable, really, dominant player on SO5 Matrix. Because what I like about breakout players is the fact that no one's going to be looking at them because they're so useless. But just like that, they can turn, they can be a nailed starter, and they can put up 69, 67s, just fantastic scores, obviously. So yeah, definitely someone that's on the list at £6 in limited, £72 in rare. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on him. And unfortunately, it looks like Luca Netz got a serious injury in the first game of the season. Unfortunate for him being so young, but you did put 2 down, so it's your own fault, mate. Next up, we have Alex Coltrane with Maritz Kajagard. And you know that's not how you say that name. But besides that, it's obviously someone I know. He's part of the Salzburg team. You know, as the Salzburg Academy, they just seem to produce talent. And yeah, this guy is he going to count onto the breakout list with a last 40 of 52? Now, I think you probably can break out. Oh, I don't think it counts. I'm trying to justify it. It doesn't count. But the fact he's got a last 5 of 67, that is really strong. He is only 20 years old. It's a dubious shout. I'm not going to count him for this, but just looking at it, if it's someone, I mean, he's broken out. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You tell me at home, is this a breakout? Because he's playing consistently last season, but he's just gone on a run of last 5 smashing it. I'm sure if we go to the price graph now, he's going to have like a fantastic run from the 31st of July. So 31st July, yeah, we're looking about £30. He's still at £30 to be fair, £38. He has risen, but there is new season supply as well. So yeah, don't know if I can class it as a breakout, but I think that's a huge shout from Alex. Next up, we have It's Gusto with Ibrahim Sissoko. I always kick myself when I see It's Gusto commenting because I just think of Xavi Simons. How many times he told me to buy him last season. I didn't buy him. Now he's at Leipzig. Last season, he absolutely smashed it as well. So yeah, I listen when this lad speaks about, breakout seasons. Ibrahim Sissoko, I don't know much about. On the last 3-month graph, he's down a little bit. If you're looking at, 31st July again, £7 down to £3. But at the end of the day, it looks like he's been injured as well. Important to note, he has got forward cards as well as midfielder cards. So you'd need to see how they score, but let's wait until he's fit again. Risu Wu Saka tries to play me with a Kevin De Bruyne. Not only did Kevin De Bruyne not break out this season, he also got injured. So that's for screwing my teams, Kevin. And you, Risa, as well, actually. Eddie ONeill Sorare is coming in with Nicholas Madison and says, I don't even own his card, so we'll see if he made a mistake or not. Well, you could have bought him for about £10.20. He's now, after the new season supply, dropped a little bit, as you'd kind of expect. Are we classing him as a breakout? He 54 last season, 50 this season. I think it's a bit too dubious to call him a breakout. In terms of smashing scores in, he can do it on his day, but he can also flop in terms of scores. So yeah, we're going to leave that there. Yataro Oda comes in from Rare River Badger. I looked at his scores at the time, and yeah, there was a big chance that he popped off. Looking at his actual returns over the last 3 months, he's gone on a massive price run. So you had the chance to get him at £5, sell him at £13, but he's come crashing down to £3. I can't see an injury for him. I think because last game he was rotated out, and then did he come back in from the bench? No, he got subbed at half time. So got the starting spot and then subbed at half time. I don't think there's many worse things that can happen for someone as a so rare player. So probably not looking great for Oda. Asta of Rank with an X. I don't know how you'd add an X on that name. And I like about this one, he says, if he goes to PSV. And I don't know. Let's see if he did go to PSV. I'm going to guess no. So at the time, you could have got him for £14. You can now buy him for about £11. He has spiked. So I don't know what team he's at. It says Wolfsburg here. But is that true? I'll give it a quick research for you. So it looks like he was at Mechelen 2 years ago. Transferred to Wolfsburg for £8 million, like a definite young prospect, which, to be honest, I have not heard of. He's only 20, so, maybe one for the watch list. He then loaned out to AC Milan, which just seems like a very rogue loan to go on. You normally loan out to get more minutes, not less minutes. Obviously, he didn't play much for Milan, 9 appearances, no goals, one yellow card. He's now returned to loan. The transfer window's closed, so it doesn't look like he's got a move, but yeah, probably a serious talent that needs the right club. Shout out to Shakhtar Donuts for the recommendation. Someone I didn't know of, and he's got a cool name. Kahuna says, Kieran Drewsbury Hall. Yes, not a technical breakout. He agrees, but will have a fantastic Sorare season. I rate you for putting the comment, but since it's not a breakout, not going to give you the praise. But I know as an owner of Kieran, he has had a good season, so shout out to you. Kieran Whitehead has come in with Armindo Saib. And looking at Armindo Saib, he has been on a huge price run. So again, the date that we put this post out, he would have been at about £8, rose up to £12, then gapped down in the market. I don't know what's gone on there. Did he play badly? Did he get dropped? We'll check in a minute. Down to £4 at the minute. This guy looks like he is not living up to his potential. I think I see Rye. Start of the season, dropped, comes off the bench for 80 minutes while someone's probably injured, gets an 83-pointer, then just fades away into nothingness. So doesn't look to have hit the right spots at the minute, but playing in the Bundesliga 2 at 20, could dominate that if he's got the potential. Hasn't been fulfilling at the minute. Overall, there is some, flashes of brilliance, but yeah, not one I'll be adding to my watch list. Next up, we have Shoe Dude, who recommended Takuro Kankiko. Again, not pronouncing names right. It's boring if you do. Going to look at his scores then and his price, it looks like he's just been slowly filtering down in price. It is just like the epitome of just downward trend. But overall, you could have picked him up for about £6. Now you can pick him up for about £2. It's not looking very positive for him. It's probably one of those where he got such a fantastic move to a challenger-dominating team like Dynamo Zagreb, and since then, it's just not happened for him. It doesn't look like he's injured according to Sorare data, so he wasn't in the squad, and then he was on the bench. So one I'm going to be avoiding. Now this one has me excited. Cian says, Aiden ONeill, but when he gets a card, he'll be elite. Why I say it excites me, he's just got a card. Literally this week. So first price came in at £14. If you're getting the 1 of 1,000 at £14, I don't even think a rare's been auctioned yet, so we could go after the 1 of 100. On top of that, last 5 scores, it's 47, 40, 50, 61, 40, averaging 52. I think he could be right. This is really someone to watch. His age kind of puts me off a little bit, like 25. He's not going to be a breakout. But at the same time, I guess that gives you some downside protection where he's probably not going to get a move to Champion Europe. He's not going to the Premier League. He's not going to the Bundesliga. An Australian, rare to see in the Pro League. But yeah, we might like to see it at the same time. So maybe I either go after the 1 of 100 or maybe I let his limited price drop down as more supply comes out. Yeah, one to watch. Definitely one to watch. That's what I'm looking for. Thanks for the info, mate. Now, Mr. Benko might know what he's talking about. Again, dubious on the breakout season. You could argue Warren Zaire-Emery broke out last season, but I don't think he truly broke out last season. I think he started playing last season, that when you're like 16, 17 playing for PSG, everyone's calling you a breakout because, yeah, whatever. But in terms of actually being like nailed down into the team, let me show you what's gone on. So this one's painful because I know so much about Warren Zaire-Emery. I've seen him play live. I didn't think he'd be an SO5 monster. And if we click to the scores, recently he's nailed down the spot, which we expected him to do, as did Mr. Benko. But yeah, a 90 performance, a 30 AA. The problem is I'd seen him play and before even, posting this comment, I was researching into, well, how does he play when he starts? 18 AA on his best game. It just wasn't fantastic. Right mid isn't where he normally plays. Centre mid. So I just filled with a lot of regret. In terms of the price then, 3 months ago or, on July when I was posting this, you get him for £63. He's currently trading at 143. So maybe I fumbled the bag there. Maybe I'm still fumbling the bag by not getting him now. But I just think, yes, he's 17, but it's too early for me where he just started putting up good scores. We still need a little bit more consistency for him to come into my gallery. You guys at home, you might just be looking at under 23 until 2030. 2030, that is just crazy. Lost for words. But yeah, I think Mr. Benko has been the star of the show so far on this episode. Does this episode imply that I've said the wrong thing? Or does it imply there's more episodes coming? Kenny Football says Marcelino Nunes of Norwich. I don't know if he'll be fully breakout, but, surely gets more minutes this year for Watford. I think we might be onto a loser here because I heard a lot about this kid, but I also know he's not playing. So at 23, he is getting these awful scores for Norwich. He's dropped in price from about £5 to £2, and the new season supply is just going to drive that down further. In terms of playing, 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute sub, yeah, we might have our biggest loser of the episode. Even though it's like 2 minutes, it's like, what are you going to do with someone that's on the bench, getting a bit older, going to age out of under 23 and putting up last 15s of 29? And don't click the 1 year graph because at one time he was selling for £64 this year. Big Ange season, knows what he's talking about because it is Big Ange season. And he also said Ernest Poku, this is the only guy I actually purchased on the list after posting this tweet. I just thought everything was looking right for him. I bought him for £15. He then price spiked up to about 31. Currently, you could pick him up for about 18, so I made a little bit of a profit. In terms of like nailing down a spot, he's definitely not done that yet, but he is getting consistent, sub appearances, but like proper sub appearances, 29 minutes, 20, 45, 30, 49. So growing into that spot, this is someone I really like the look of. Unfortunately, you are playing more of a premium. It's not like a breakout that no one knows about. It seems to be a breakout that everyone knows about, but he's 19. Under 23 until 2028. If you sit on, a comfortable rare or a super rare card, you're going to be fine with this kid. It just depends how long it takes him to break out. And, looking at 2 assists, a goal and a assist and a penalty one, yeah, I don't think it'll be too long. But at the same time, I don't know AZ squad. I don't know who's taking his place. So yeah, do your own research, of course. So this one is interesting for me. Flamingo Bingo, great name. Come out with Jorginho Rutter of Leeds. This guy was bought for 35 million to join the Premier League. And his last 15 average is 42. His last 40 average is 39. Leeds fans are rightly annoyed at this purchase. Is there a hope that he finds his feet in the Championship? Would you even be happy as a Leeds fan if he did find his feet in the Championship? In terms of price, 10 up to 18, but that's only this week because he's played 2 games in a row. He got a goal last week against Ipswich, nothing this week against Sheffield Wednesday. Look, he's putting up 15 AA as like a striker, centre attacking mid type role. Yeah, it's interesting to see how he'll do, but Bamford might come back. This Joel Pirro, he's going to take up a lot of minutes from him. The Leeds team is a bit all over the place at the minute. Let's see how they kind of level out, and let's see if Rutter is up to what he says. You must be a Leeds fan because you said, I pray, and I think that's kind of what all Leeds fans are hoping for at the minute. They're just like, we need him to be good. We spent so much money on him. No one's going to go out and buy him at the prices we need him to. We need him to come good. So let's hope it does. So to me, I think this video has been going long enough. If you did like it, drop a like, drop a comment, and let me know if you want a part 2 because there is so many more names on this list that I can go through. I really appreciate all of you that did comment, all of you that do follow me on Twitter, all of you that do like and subscribe. So yeah, all the best to you. Cheers.